as well. I think we're all a bit red hot under the collar.
Good morning, one and all. I will speak over you if you are still talking with the button is going. We are here to celebrate a new era of not winning under our new illustrious manager, Thomas Frank. I'm feeling that today may come from a very dark place indeed. No, I'm not talking about Luton Town. I'm talking about the ever-creasing realisation that everything has changed and everything has stayed the same. I have a feeling that Daniel's head will be on lots of people's lips when asked by the waiter, "What can I get you to eat today, sir?" So without further ado, we've got Big Chris B with "It's Happening Again," and Tony with something charming as usual. I am, as ever, your Levy World ambassador, and the exits are there and there. How goes it, boys and girls? What is the vibe in the camp?
The vibe in the camp is, yes, it was a pre-season friendly, but fuck me, we were terrible. We had our pants pulled down and were thumped vigorously from behind. Yes, in the first half, Bayern Munich had a very strong side, but in the second, it was their kindergarten. So we've been outplayed, offered nothing offensively. It's the same old shite, yet people are prepared to accept that nonsense. It's the alarm bells are all ringing, and there's some real serious concerns out there.
Tony, how was it for you in your Bedouin-style caravanette?
Oh, just fuck off. Just fuck off. Can we just wrap the season up now? Because I'm fucking fed up already. I mean, I know it's pre-season and all that sort of stuff, but I was just looking at the squad this morning, and that's not so much a squad. That's more like a list of serial killer victims. Honestly, it's just a fucking disaster. There's about two or three players you think, yeah, okay, we'll keep them. The rest of them, they can all fuck off wherever they want to go, because we are so weak. We are so weak. Not only is our starting 11 pretty darn even weaker now than it has been before, when you take into account what we then have to put into it, as it were, if we get injuries or substitutions, it's not worth a wank.
Do you know what?
I'm struggling to see if you put. I mean, this is contorted, but I'm not. Like I said, I'm not in a good place for this. If you put our starting 11 made them all wear a dress, I don't think Peter Sutcliffe would raise a ball hammer to any of them.
Say you've done something really naughty. And your penalty was by firing squad. You'd want the Tottenham forward line executing you, as none of the fuckers could hit you.
I wasn't. I'd had a couple of beers, but I mean, literally 2 beers. I helped a pal over the road take some possessions in and put them in my office, which is, if you can see carnage behind me, that's what that is, called the milk of human kindness, sprayed all over the wall. But I had a couple of pints.
We've heard about your milk. We've heard about your milk, mate.
Yeah.
You only get 10 points. That's all I got.
Usually called a bukkake party, isn't it?
So your sound went there, thankfully. But I mean, I watched the game last night, and I gave pretty awful reviews. I have sworn occasionally on my Substack because it's for grown-ups. But I think everybody got a dollop of hate. Really, really poor. I mean, going through it, I'm going to just ramble through a few. I'm going to miss people. We can come back through it because I think we need to talk about these fuckers and emphasise how bad they were. I mean, curiously enough, I watched that Paul Hotspur hippie thing popped up, and he was going about YouTubers losing their fucking minds after one bad game, and I thought, well, yeah, but isn't this the level we're supposed to be at? And they changed, as you said, they brought the kindergarten out for the second half, and that only compounded matters. That only made it worse.
Second half, they had that kid, Cassiano Chiala, 16-year-old, playing centre-back. He will reach puberty before Richarlison threatens him. He was.
Well, I mean, let's begin the begin. I mean, Vicario. I'm calling it now. This guy conceded a ton of goals last season. Far too many goals. I don't care about big fat Ange and all the hullabaloo. He isn't very good. Have you got sunburn, Tony, or have you got a lamp you've been using from the 70s to sort of
No.
encourage hair growth or something?
See, unlike you in your slummy Birmingham, we actually get sun down here.
Your head looks like it needs lancing, mate. But anyway, I digress. But God Almighty.
You're just jealous because I actually have a healthy complexion. I suppose pasty face shit up there.
I tell you what, if they once, I hope Ribena are paying you handsomely for your AI adverts. That's what.
Mate, this is what Daniel Levy and Daniel Levy all running Tottenham has done to me, mate. It's turned me into my head into an inferno because I'm fucking pissed off with this cunt.
But no, but Vicario was bloody awful. I mean, Bayern Munich, this is a top flight side, and I'm afraid I'm not prepared to indulge this business of this, that, the other. They were, what is it? Jet lag. It's a pre-season. It's this. Hang on a minute. Well, Bayern Munich, are they from Southeast Asia? No, they're from the Bundesliga, which is an hour away or whatever it is from where we are. All in the same bloody boat, except we don't have any oars and the water's coming in. But Vicario was horrible. Cuti Romero, absolute toilet. I mean, he's supposed to be number 2 on the captaincy list. He genuinely doesn't give a damn. I called it a couple of years ago. I thought it was quite exciting when he was picking up red cards, but he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He was absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. Van der Vaart, has to be said, didn't have a great game. Good passing accuracy, but it was like watching a montage. I thought he was auditioning to take Eric Dyer's slot. Clearance after clearance. I mean, you've got thick football fans out there that think clearances are all part of the cut and thrust and the brawl. No, that's a guy who doesn't have any better ideas than a hoof it.
It's more also though, that would say an awful lot about. It says an awful lot about what options he's got to actually fucking pass anything to.
Well, this is the other thing, because I thought you could see that Thomas Frankie's trying to play a more, for want of a better word, articulate game, a bit more of a football coach's game. But unfortunately, he doesn't have the resources. I just don't see it. And this was our best 11. I know we were minus James Maddison, who I think I established yesterday. The results are back from the lab. He's made of biscuits. But the reality is he is only good on his day, and his day isn't every weekend, unfortunately. So we're lamenting the loss of a guy who was never really there. And I have to just throw in at this point as well, because I think there's a massive campaign of disinformation, which I got caught up in, which is now the standard practice. Daniel Levy, I'm stepping back from football. Daniel Levy, I'm about to announce the naming rights. And these are all triggered by heat on him, external of the club. The thing is a farce at the moment, and I'm not overreacting. If anybody wants to tell me something positive, and I don't mean one of you nitwits or one of these unemployed drongos from Australia at 4 a.m. saying to me, aren't you happy with anything? Well, I tell you something, I'm a very simple chap. I don't like losing. And getting 4-0 live on telly, being beamed around the world, not for me, thanks very much.
For me, guys, I thought it showed as well that Spence isn't a left back. We've praised him in recent weeks, but he was blamed for that second goal. We're going into the season with our first choice left back, a doggy injured. Who have we got? Ben Davies, yippee. We are setting ourselves up to fail by absolute craziness in running the club. Maddison gets injured. Gets injured. Any club with anything about them realises he's your number 10, he's your creativity. Instantly, there should be plans afoot to bring players in. Yet it breaks yesterday. We're looking at a Argentinian, part owned by Real Madrid, Paz or something, playing in Italy.
That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
But why would you spend? They want 70 million. Again, you're bringing a young kid into a new league, into a new culture. He's not going to hit the ground running. We need proven winners. We need experience. We need quality. But we can continue to purchase from the middle aisle of Audi, and we end up with inflatable kangaroos and awnings. We need
excuse me, Morgan Gibbs White. Morgan Gibbs White. Excuse me.
Exactly that, and we're not speaking about that enough. That whole transfer deal was farcical beyond belief, and somebody should be held accountable at the club. You can't think we're going to activate a 60 million release clause, then for 2 weeks sit on our fingers doing nothing at all. What professional organisation behaves like that?
But we're not a professional organisation.
No,
I mean, we've had this business with the Daniel Levy interview with Gary Neville, who's a Marxist, saying that he wants the state, he wants a Labour government of all people. I mean, mind you, there's no difference between Labour and Conservative these days anyway, really, truth be told, except for the Tories are slightly better at managing the optics on the idiocies that they get up to. But we had this thing where you got these two half-wits who haven't done a day's work. I mean, a real day's work. I'm not talking about working on a brick site, but I mean actually produced something. But they're very good at spending money and waffling expertly about, oh, yes, that's the wage transfer distribution. I'd have them pair of them shot. Honestly, Stalin was right. Remove the man, remove the problem. I'm sick of listening to these bums. And Levy wandering around, oh, you'll miss me when I'm gone. No, we won't. No, we won't. We'll breathe a sigh of relief. The only thing that guy's going to have in his legacy, which is the overused word of my lifetime all of a sudden, is the fact that when he does sell us, and I am utterly convinced now, I had a suspicion, but I'm utterly convinced after his recent performances, he's going to sell us to the dirtiest dog he can find. It'll be a one-eyed, people smuggling, organ harvesting Romanian or something. It'll be some horror show that he sells us to. Because that's what he wants. He wants to remind everybody, they've underestimated me. Little weasel. Absolute piece of junk.
His legacy will be Paddy Power will be quoting on his fucking tombstone.
Yeah.
Because honestly, he's there is no legacy as far as this club. There is
Paddy
Power
will be relieving themselves in a group's jerk when he goes. You know, there'll be less evidence of his final resting place than there is of Jimmy Savile's. And I'm not deliberately crowbarring this stuff in. This guy is off his rocker in terms of his status in the world. Surrounds himself with yes men. But I mean, that team last night, try and keep some structure to this, but that team last night was absolutely appalling. There's no creativity. There's no accountability.
We haven't got anybody. But answer me this. Why do we continue with Richarlison? All three of us know the bloke's rubbish. He's the worst
the trouble
use of £60 million in the club's history. Is crap.
Well, the trouble is that the biggest joke is the price of the medicine, to quote the old pop lyric there. But the biggest joke is that who's that coming down the line? Who is the cavalry? Oh, I can see dust. It's okay, guys. We're safe. We're safe. Don't worry about the Indians anymore. Oh no, fuck me. It's Dominic Solanke with his catapult.
Right,
he's another waste of money.
According to Transfermarkt, according to Transfermarkt, Richarlison is currently valued at 20 million euros. We paid 60 million quid for the cunt.
Well, that's 19.9 million is too much.
I think you're being rather unreasonable there, because we've deferred the payment over a number of years, and with the amortisation available to us, you'll think you'll find that I've just fallen out of my own arsehole. Thank you very much.
It's like he's in the room. It's stunning. It's like he's in the room.
But it is. I mean, you want to, when he starts talking, I am looking for Nurse Piggy.
Yeah.
To tell us.
In fact, you'd get that this club would be better off being run by the Muppets. Because at least they actually have got fucking idea what they're going to do, and they will entertain us.
Ladies and gentlemen, total chaos. Tropical Island in Nissan. They're actually absolutely out of their minds. But you see, this is the thing, and I have been banging on about this for years now. But the infantilization of everything. So where are the angry mob with the lit torches? I'll tell you where they are. They're showing their mummy and daddy their new shirt they bought with Sonny on the back, and it says he's done all these things.
£160 a time, yeah.
160 quid a time. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. I have never seen a merchandising operation quite like it.
Isn't it amazing how efficient our merchandising operation is now? Our transfer team is about as efficient as a Fred West turd.
Well, I tell
Honestly.
you who our transfer team are: Lang, blah blah, all of them. It's the cast of the Hangover as they're walking in the airport lounge. You know, with the man bag and the baby. That is our transfer crack squad right there.
I think
We're just
Alan
trying
would
to-
do a far better job than Johan Lang every day of the week.
Johan Lang is a yes man. He can't speak properly. They all talk in this LinkedIn ease, which is, oh yes, fortuitously looking forward to the forthcoming and in competitive relationship with the Pythagorisms of the overview of the market, situated, pinpointed. They can't fucking speak properly, and that's why they get hired. We've all seen it. I've stopped using LinkedIn because I may as well have been reading Middle English. It may as well have been the collected works of Chaucer. Oh, I went for a coffee this morning in Black and Pot Kettle, blah, blah, on Camden High Road. And I have to say, service by Lucy was excellent. I would commend. Nobody speaks like that. Nobody talks like that, apart from you. And you're all mentally ill. And if you want a really good blue chip job, Daniel Levy will hire you and then put you on gardening leave in 6 weeks' time.
I was going to say we may as well change our club motto to Tottenham Hotspur, the club that takes anybody that nobody else wants.
Yeah.
What does your T-shirt say? Jack Action or something?
Jack Burton. It's a character in Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, look at you with the vintage chic.
Yeah, there you go, mate. You see, every now and again, I have the power to surprise you. Unlike Tottenham Hotspur, the football club.
I mean, despite the fact you're looking like you're a medical intervention waiting to go wrong, from the neck up,
mate. This is what 16 power wanks in a row looks like, mate. Come on.
I'm on the edge, baby. I'm on the edge.
I've still got 30 to go.
They call him the freight train.
You're not like the big, was it the Jack Burton, but the Pork Chop Express? Come on, you must remember Big Trouble in Little China.
I'm rapidly deleting files in my memory now. You've just said that. delete. Oh no, delete.
But it's true though, isn't it? We are the club that takes everybody, football players, backroom personnel, everybody that nobody else fucking wants.
Can I just preface these remarks because they come from a place of love, Christopher? What did you think of Paulina's performance before he got that half time?
You can't.
Was he jet lagged? Was he suffering from not being able to speak German or English? I mean, what was the deal?
I don't know. He wasn't very good, but it was his first game. So I'm not going to judge a man on 63 minutes. But I think well, you would as you're a wanker. But I suppose the real question for me is Son departed during the week. Yes, over the last couple of years, his performances have dropped off, but for the majority, he was a great player for Tottenham. But you look at the left side now, Odebear and Tell. That tells you everything. They're both championship players, both rubbish.
Did you
lost Kane? Never replaced him.
Yes, we did. We brought in Richarlison and Kumbaya Dominic Solanke. Oh, there we go. Hang on. I think. Speak to me again, Corley. You're through.
You fucked his broadband with just mentioning Dominic Solanke.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. You got caught in a time-space continuum for a few moments there while you were mid.
He went into an alternative universe where Spurs were actually good.
But I mean, no, we have replaced Harry Kane, as you are fondly reminding us every 25 minutes. We spent 140 or 120 million on the current half-wits that we have. He's frozen again. Oh, there he goes. He's like the bionic. You're like the bionic man. But no, it's yes. So we have replaced him. I don't see what the problem is. But did you guys see the thing that came out a couple of days ago? Apparently, Goldmire Beer and his scouse mate did a video, and Odebear has impressed Frank a lot, and they're confident that he can step into Sonny's shoes.
Tells you everything you need to know, doesn't it?
Yeah. Just leave me in your crawl space to tenderize and come down for me in the morning.
You remember when we weren't spoiled? Do you remember when we weren't spoiled, but we had the benefit of watching players like Modric, Van der Vaart, Bale, Lennon, Berbatov, Defoe, Keane. And now look at the shit we've got. We've got substandard junk that will get into nobody else's squad.
Like I said, Chris, we've got players nobody else wanted.
No. Yeah. Look at how many we've got out the door, but every single one we've got out the door is on loan. And like a boomerang, unfortunately, they all go come back next summer. And
dare I hesitate? Yeah, sorry, mate. Yeah, carry on.
Look at Chelsea. How much, not junk, but how many second-rate players unknown to a lot of the football world they've managed to offload, and they've got big money for it. Like that Amanda Borgia, the centre forward, who was out on loan last season, hardly kicked ball, £20 million. That Leslie Unachokwa, who was on loan at Southampton last year, centre midfielder, French lad, £20 million. They've pumped 40 million quid back into the club.
Madueke as well went to Arsenal for like 45 million, didn't he? You know.
Yeah. And as you said in your thing this morning, H, that I had the fortune of reading whilst walking,
got the odd synchronization on just down like that now, yeah.
Yeah, morning dog walk and read the boy Hotspur. It's invigorating. But Basuma, we need to be telling him to go. Richarlison, we need to be telling him to go. But what we do is we make it too easy. We should be saying we're not registering you in the Premiership squads. You are not in our plans. If you want to be playing for your nation in next year's 2026 World Cup, toodle pip, because it's not happening while you're a Spurs player. But we pay them good money, not great money, but better than the average working man. We allow them spa facilities. They work 4 hours a day, go home, sleep, pamper themselves, and who knows what. But we make it just all too easy. We need to be ruthless. We're not. We don't behave like a professional club. We've got the infrastructure that many would cry out for, but we're furnishing the pitch with IKEA furniture, and it's cheap nonsense.
I think it's interesting. You know, when you said before, and I wasn't particularly receptive to it, about the idea of bringing in the barristers to look at football contracts which are written in sand on a very, very blowy, wet day. I think you're right. I think actually something that might work is our old friend called ritual humiliation, because you've got Basuma wandering around giving it all that nonsense. You don't register him for the Premier League. And he can sit there looking like a lost puppy in the pound, but he will get off of his bony behind and go and sign with somebody else. He'll go to Turkey quicker than you can say Bernard Matthews. You know, he's not going to hang around to be humiliated. And I think getting these, because sure, a guy who says he's the big deal, who's got a presence, who's got a personality, probably is going to find it very awkward. When his agent is getting calls every week saying, so just to clarify, his money has remained the same, but he's effectively on gardening leave. I mean, I think that's going to be pretty impossible.
Look at the hit we took on Tanguy and Ndombele. Yeah, it seems that we're not prepared to take that same hit on Richarlison as A, nobody wants him, and B, he doesn't want to leave, so we just go keep him. But not only are we go keep him, he's going to feature week in, week out, when every single person who supports Tottenham knows that he's rubbish. Proper club does not behave like that.
Well, I hate to break it to everybody, but I did tell you so. And I know it sounds very wanky to say it, but all of these, this is the problem, you see. The mentality, it's not just the players. I think it has infected the players, but the mentality of the fan base is that, well, what about Richarlison? Well, I heard lots of Everton fans say they're really going to miss him. He's brilliant. These people are retarded. Why on earth would you get a reference from your average Everton fan? And when these players don't work, we get the same people, the same voices, the same dullards telling us, oh, but he needs more game time. Oh, but his mental health hasn't been right. Oh, but. Just shut up and play football. They seem to be able to do it at other clubs. I mean, you made the point to me there the other day, Chris. We were talking, and you said about Manchester United. Remind me, who won the Europa League again? Yeah. Manchester United have gone out. They needed to score more goals because they ended up in 16th or 15th, and they've spent over 200 million. We have struggled, and that's including all of the shite that was still floating around, because it does, to me, all this carried forward nonsense of, well, Danzo comes off of this year's budget and that year's budget. But if you sellotape everything, bundle everything together, you're looking at the wrong end of 60 million or whatever it is. We stink of losers. We stink.
When it comes to something that in a transfer window, you got clubs, you got championship clubs like Wrexham doing more business than we do. You know,
yeah.
I'm not.
But that's because they release Hollywood movies, isn't it, fam?
Do you know something? I don't give a shit, but they're doing the business. They're walking the walk and talking the talk.
I don't care if they're selling aborted baby organs to raise the money. Get on with it.
Yeah,
sick of hearing all these bloody excuses.
They put their money where their mouth is.
We are heading slowly but surely into a repeat of last season. And I saw some nitwit on Reddit course, because I have to look at this stuff or I don't know it exists and I don't get as angry as I want to be. Was going, well, I mean, if you look at our squad, he's not that bad when you consider we've got. He then goes on to list his pick of the pops from Spurs squad last season that finished 17th. I'm deranged. I'm mad. I'm sat here fuming and gnashing and spitting because I'm telling you what happened. We finished 17th. We nearly got relegated. But this clown from bumfuck Idaho, wherever he is telling us that he has belief. Just like, I used to have belief in Father Christmas. This guy has belief in Richarlison, in so-and-so, in so-and-so, in so-and-so. It finished 17th. That was the combined worth of that lot of players, contributions. Absolute junk.
Belief is for faith, is for religion. I'm sorry, that's it. You get football is hard-based facts.
Get yourself down the mosque. If you're full of belief, get yourself down the mosque. There's a cathedral. Yeah. The cathedrals of this country are empty. Don't clog up this channel. Don't clog up football. The cathedrals, the churches. It's only the mosques that are full. Go and help them out. They'll be dying to see you. There isn't a shred of evidence. Everybody, the Christians don't exist anymore. So there's plenty of space for you. Get it away from football. I'm sick of belief.
Yeah, likes of Richarlison, there is not a shred of evidence, credible evidence, to say that he is worth his space whatsoever.
No, there's no evidence.
Not a shred.
He never beat, 12 or 15 goals a season.
Yeah,
it's
in fact,
a complete car crash, but it's a car crash that probably may have life-changing consequences.
I was just looking in the background, and it tells you everything. Richarlison at Wimbledon, at Watford, 41 league games, 5 goals. Moves to Everton, 152 league games, 53 goals.
Yeah.
You come down to Tottenham, 90 league games, 20 goals. That's pathetic. That's a 1 in 4.5 return. That's absolutely crap.
It is horrific. And Brennan, and I've got to say again, because my brain works like this, Brennan Johnson only touched the ball a few times. He's a complete waste of space.
Without his goals last season, we might have gone down, though. That's the fucking point.
No, we would have gone down. He scored lots of goals, but his contribution, everything about us has got something. It's the old Del Boy routine with the adopting the German baby. Everything I buy from you, Derek's got something missing.
But don't forget,
it's supposed to be a boy and it's a girl.
Don't forget, our chairman. Don't forget, our chairman says we want to win the Champions League and we want to win the Premiership. There you go.
I want to shtuck Miss World. That isn't going to happen this week either. He is deranged. He's utterly deranged. He wanders around telling people with this sort of quiet certainty, "Don't underestimate me."
Daniel Levy telling people he wants to win the Premier League and the Champions League is like Rachel Reeves saying she knows what she's fucking doing as the Chancellor of the Exchequer. Honestly, the call centre economist. The call centre economist.
Call centre economist. Yeah. Can I just take your national insurance number, please? Why? Because I'm doing the lottery this week and I got bored picking the numbers myself. Absolute cretin.
Daniel
It's
Levy,
just
the Gerald Ratner of the professional sports business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Watch
But
his- watch his-
don't worry. These 3 twats will be gone, and you can log on to the official site, and you can pay 160 quid for a shirt that doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything, but you
Mate.
keep it. You can wear it down the pub. Oh no, you don't go down the pub, do you? Because you might actually rough the edges off you and expand your life if you bumped into other people.
mate,
You
what,
can sit
mate,
there in your dungeon.
mate, 160 quid for a shirt, mate. These hotels don't build themselves, mate. They don't build themselves.
You're quite right. You're quite right. If you want an ensuite shower and a lift that goes sideways, then you're going to have to pay up and contribute to the national wealth.
You know,
But
I'm
it
also upset.
is an absolute disgrace. And do you know something? I would ordinarily, I think, God knows how many years ago, I would have said, look, I don't care if we win every game 10-0, lose every game 10-0. It's the pre-season. But getting humiliated like that by Bayern Munich, and I mean, Frank afterwards in his interview I tell you something, I even put the transcript on it on the Substack so you can see it. And by the transcript, I mean word for word, which he actually said, not rewritten and all the rest of it. And he sounded like Tony Conte when he was talking. Very difficult. Yeah. They were on their game. We weren't. That was a bad combination. I know the answers to a lot of questions. No, you've got some really nasty wake-up calls is what you've got. They're not answers. They are questions. You've just watched us have our pants pulled down. That was a drubbing. And you don't enter into games like that. Do you know who enters into games like that? You get Luton Town will take on Real Madrid at home because they just don't care. Massive gate money. They'll never. It's the payday of paydays. That's why football teams sign up to get thumped, to get bent over the barrel, as Chris has said before. And Spurs should never have been on that pitch.
And what do you think Luis Enrique's going to do to us next Wednesday night?
I think they're going to hurt us. And I think if you combine, I thought that the game against Arsenal, which we won by 1 goal, which I know is a very
that would have been disallowed in the Premiership.
Which would have been disallowed in the Premiership without a shadow of a doubt because VAR wouldn't tolerate it for a nanosecond. I didn't think Arsenal were really at it at all. I didn't think Arsenal were playing their usual Arsenal selves. And you could see that the mister on there had lost his mind with the whole thing. So you do have off games, but that off game of ours last night looks like virtually every bloody game we played last season in the Premier League. And the only reason we won the Europa League is because the Shitehawks, the 10 games that we won in the Europa League, were against Shitehawk sides that were even worse than the Premier League. And who did we meet in the final? Yes, I know it was Manchester United, but who we met in the final was a point ahead of us, or whatever it was, in the Premier League.
The worst Man United team in the last 25 to 30 years by a long way.
I'm over 50, 3 beers for the over 50s. Remember, kids, that's my pledge, and I'll bring it to you. But don't forget, this is the worst Manchester United team of my lifetime. I've never seen them in such disarray. So, wow, yeah, we beat Manchester United. But what's the response? Let's go back to it again. They go out and spend 200 million because they know there's trouble in store. They need to fix it. Because they know that hoping and praying and being faithful isn't worth a button. But we're all down we're walking past the mosque, we're walking past the cathedral going, look at those stupid people genuflecting. We're one of the biggest clubs in the world. We're on our arses. Wake up, read the news.
Who would you rather have, Jim Radcliffe or Daniel Levy?
Well, I think they're two cheeks of the same bottom, to be honest. But the difference is, under Radcliffe's pecuniary master shtucks of getting rid of people on £8 an hour, whatever it was he's been up to, at least he's gone out and they've spent 200 million.
And he's experienced success with Ineos, hasn't he? Who dominated the professional sports cycling world. So
I mean, the guy's got real world business experience, which Daniel Levy crucially only has with ENIC, and crucially, it's only on the finance side. So when he's wandering around with Gary Neville pontificating about this, that, and the other, And I mean, that was the thing. I'm sure I said it to you. He said, "Oh, what's the biggest thrill of your life, or the most important thing in your life?" Doesn't mention his bloody children. Mind you, having seen them, you judge each case by its merits. But I mean, for fuck's sake.
I shared something with you the other day, H, and you look at young Josh, Daniel's son, and guess what? He's on the board of the Tavistock group. So all he's done is surrounded by family members, yes men.
Nepotism gone ripe, isn't it?
Yeah. Nobody ever hold him to account. Who is Daniel Levy accountable to? Seemingly nobody. We were told he's going to get replaced. He hasn't. He's brought in another puppet in Vinay, another yes man. He's got what's happening with Fabio Paratici? We were told, his worldwide ban's over. He's going to be never been seen. He's like Lord Lucan, ridden off into the distance on Shergar. Yet we need somebody getting across the line.
Paratici, who Italian clubs have been uncomfortable to touch. Okay, that's the breaking news. You would have thought would have come back to Spurs in some capacity because we don't care. We're even more amoral than the Itais. And what have we got? Nothing. There've been a few mumbles which I felt were kind of hopeful, people trying to steer the club a little bit in such that you can, that Paratici was going to have an involvement and we might be able to rekindle, because he was very hit and miss. I mean, this is the thing, we rewrite history over and over again. But when you look back, there were some shocking purchases made on his watch or during his time with us. But he's evidently, to me, at this stage, what we've got 9 days, something like that, to go for the win. He's not involved. He's not involved at all. So you've got Lang staring at his spreadsheet, and then you've got Daniel who's saying, "Oh yes, it's most pleasing," and they're all chatting in his LinkedIn speak because none of them can speak English. I know that sounds incredibly, uncharitable of me, but we've all had enough. We've all had enough. And going into this season, with the challenges that we're currently facing, nobody get on with it. I just find it bewildering.
Right. So Paratici, signings under Paratici: Spence, Hill, Danjuma, Solomon, Golini, Veliz,
Golini,
Richarlison, Timo Werner.
Six rubbish,
Fraser Foster, Brennan Johnson, Clement Longley, Emerson Royale. This is
like everybody you've dated who can confirm you were unable to sustain an erection.
Ivan Perisic.
You've buried most of them under the patio, haven't you?
I'm waiting. We're getting to those, mate.
Coming.
Yeah. Ragazine, Ashley Phillips, Yves Bissouma, Wilson Odobert, Archie Gray, Lucas Bergvall, Rodrigo Bentancur, Dejan Kulusevski, Destiny Udogi, Papasar, Chris's favourite goalkeeper, Guglielmo Vicario, Ricky van der Ven, Christian Romero, Pedro Porro, and the one and only made of biscuits, James Maddison. What a fucking pile of wank that is.
And not a
honestly.
good biscuit, not a good biscuit, not a chocolate hobnob that's come for a scrap. We're talking about those ones you can buy in the pound shops that are basically a bag of dust with lumps in.
Yeah, honestly, that we're out of those, you can honestly say that was 29 players, and you can honestly say 3/4 at absolute best you'd keep.
Yeah, tops. Yeah, 3/4, and you're still in the category of on his day.
Yeah,
as opposed to don't have to worry about it. It's like a stick of rock. He's got success, focus, and determination flowing through his veins. No, we haven't got any of it.
It comes that part of this with that and this transfer strategy. We have either.
Sorry, what was that word you used?
Yeah.
I used
as we go along.
Strategy.
Fuck you know.
We have released or
let released.
We have released Roger.
Release Brentinker.
Yeah. We have released or let on loan, or they've been bought by a couple more players than we've actually fucking bought in this window. So we're actually in a deficit as far as our playing squad is concerned. Bravo, Levy. Fucking bravo.
Yeah, well done. Well done. Baldini strikes again.
Fucking
What
Lord
an
Baldymore's.
absolute waste of flesh this guy is.
As I put in our chat yesterday, Lord Baltimore cunt face of fuck office stand.
Mm.
And it's good night from me, folks. No, absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. So here we are with a week to go thereabouts, and what's around the corner? An accelerating lorry with no lights on.
Well, these two last pre-season games should have been a taste of what the quality is we're going to face in the Champions League, and we are just exposing ourselves. We're making ourselves look silly, and we've just not got a squad to compete. And anybody who sits back and looks at that squad and thinks, yeah, we're well placed for the season, they must be called Stevie Wonder, because it's an absolute joke. It is absolutely. There's people using Tottenham as a social experiment. How far you can take the piss out of your fans before they break, before they snap, before they all become methadone addicts. It's just a joke.
Mate, that happened about 40 years ago, mate. Don't worry about
Enoch,
that.
Enoch are the Josef Mengele of the 21st century, carrying out bizarre and warped experiments, not behind closed doors, but in
front of the
public
world.
view. I mean, we were on TV last night when the last experiment went along. If you thought trying to change the colour of people's eyeballs was rough,
I knew the way this.
try watching Richarlison play up front for Tottenham.
I knew the way this club was going during the last season when I went to one of the games on a Sunday, and there were people dressed as Squid Games soldiers marching around the stadium while you're trying to have a beer. I was like, oh,
well, it's going to be interesting to see what the demographic looks like. I wouldn't say perhaps so much next season, although I think a lot of seats that have been purchased by South Koreans will be taken up by people more locally placed, shall we say. But I think the season after next
will be in the Championship. It'll be good value for money. We'll get to go to places like Rotherham away or Middlesbrough, or all the exotic Luton Town, maybe all the exotic locations.
Unbelievable.
But at least that is still up from the bottom.
But this is it. I mean, the amount of piffle that I've been seeing online. And I mean, I know we've covered it with YouTubers, and I know we can't mention some of their names because they have mental health issues, and they're probably going to jump off an NCP car park. If I share any more of their threats that are recorded on audio, which is not a private. No, I'm just saying. But there are people out there reading off of cue cards. We're European champions. No, we're not. We're a club that lucked a knockout competition, and we're very, very, very much hell-bent on repeating the same shite another time around. This is what's going to happen. You can't look at that squad and I'm sick of this excuse. It's like a white noise. It's like a radio. You can't tune in. Oh, but we've lost Sonny. Oh, but we've lost Madders.
But mate,
it's football. It's a contact sport. One was a pensioner. The other one was a pensioner who's retired, and the other one has got a very unfortunate injury. But we're now at a point whereby we're worse off than we were last season, where we nearly got relegated.
Yeah.
If you think we're better than the three clubs that are coming up, you might need to go and speak to your GP.
Mate, these people who say we're European champions, no, we won a European trophy. We are meeting the European champions in 6 days' time.
That's going to be an awkward conversation, isn't it?
Well, there is going to be so much lube on offer for how badly we are going to get bumfucked that, you know, it's we could actually make a decent porn film out of it.
I'm honestly at my wit's end, and there will be people watching this or whatever and saying, "Oh, I can't believe they've gone mental. They're throwing their toys out the pram, blah, blah," and all these other cliches. Anything but to confront the reality. Anything to address the stone cold facts that are in front of us.
You know,
this club, to quote Mr. B there, is set up to fail. We are preparing to fail. What you're watching now is a strategy. We've only got one strategy, and that is out and out humiliation.
I like to do the like for like tests where I put the top 6 clubs above us alongside us, compare their transfer windows to ours, and the difference between us, Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City, Man United, it is so
And
wide.
Chelsea. And
Yeah,
Chelsea, yeah.
it's so wide that you can get cruise ships through there. It is ridiculous. The gap between us is becoming unsustainable. We'll never be able to catch these clubs up.
It's shameful. I've rarely had much nice to say about the way that ENIC have run us, but
But
getting
there's
rid of
happy
yeah, I mean getting rid of Fatso was a good move because we understand why. We don't need to go through that again because we're not stupid. But then bringing in Thomas Frank and presuming or having faith in him having a pocket full of fairy dust. I'm
He's the
bereft. I'm bereft of words.
next manager being set up for failure. And what was attractive around him is because he'd had a history of working on very slight budgets, and that he had a.
And so Daniel thought, small budget, I can beat that.
Yeah. He wanted, yeah, of course he does. That's the attraction. The proposition for him was he was a coach who worked on small budgets, plucked players from mediocrity, and got a number out of them. And that's all. He will be the next manager in 18 months' time. We'll be looking at this fiasco, thinking, "Is this for me?" And we'll be.
Well,
It's a continuing circle.
Well, like I said, if you look at the transcript, and I'm going to highlight this in future. I'm not going to bend over backwards looking for it, but if I see it, I'll call it out. After the Bayern game, he sounded like Conte. If you see the words, it sounded like the stuff that Tony Conte was coming out with. So you tell me. I mean, they've got footage. The club is putting footage of Mathis Tell handing out shirts. Handing out shirts in the street, which I just thought was surreal. And if you really want to go down, because they're all so bloody woke, these bastards, there's all these people outside the hotel, and they've got the lads saying, step back, and there's a bloke in a wheelchair. He didn't get a shirt. They can't even do stupid well.
Well, they did stupid yesterday, where they made a real big thing of putting out a video and photographs of Ben Davies on the flight back from Germany. And
smiling, smirking.
Son always used to sit, was empty, and he had this like puppy like expression on his face. You're thinking, for fuck's sake, mate, grow up. He's not died and gone to heaven.
No, he's been. I tell you what's happened to him. He's been sold off for $20 million because the rest is add-ons.
Yeah.
To
what did we pay for him?
Oh.
What did we pay for him 11 years ago?
Yeah, 11 years
26,
ago.
27?
Yeah,
so we've rinsed him as much value as we could get from him, but that doesn't stop. We're continuing that with legacy sales of shirts to try.
Well, I was going to say the drip drawing is still continuing, because if you want to blow your month's wages on absolutely valueless junk, I tell you what it is, right? I mean, I just throw this in to bore people, but you know, these people who say, you'd bump into them occasionally. Oh, I've got a framed Pele shirt. Whatever you paid for it, be £1 or £1 million, that's the own it forever price. You're never going to get your money back. Nobody's ever going to want to buy that from you. You've essentially overpaid for something. It makes me happy, I put it in the wall. But that's the own it forever price. No investment there. And that's what you're getting with all that Sonny merchandise. I mean, it really is pretty despicable.
And you look at what's going on at the moment, and Everton moving into a new stadium, we'd pulled well clear of them over recent years, but we're at that point where they're catching us up and they could pass us by because they've been just in the transfer market than we are.
Well, the deal with Everton, and I'll say it as clearly as possible for those of you deaf-tards at the back, at least they're trying not to get relegated because they know that they're not very good. Manchester United, who we know aren't very good, at least they're trying not to get relegated. I mean, I'm not being funny. I know it's one game and one swallow doesn't make a summer and all of this. That Polina last night looked shite. He looked like an old man. He looked like all the nasty inferences I was making were true, were biblical facts. No, I'm going to say I agree with you. It was one game, but he looked dreadful.
Can we just please put some context into last season? We were marginally, and mean marginally, by a fucking gnat's penis, better than Southampton, Ipswich, and
Who beat us at home?
Yeah, who beat us at home, and it's just like, honestly, those two clubs alone, the fact that we only just beat Ipswich away and lost at home to them. Honestly, I'm just sitting there going, what the fucking point of it is? That was, and Leicester. And I mean, again, Leicester fucked us over. You know, we got, if it just for the grace of God of them being so absolutely rank crap, did we not go down? Then that's the end of the story. That is it. That's just fact.
Yeah, but we're the champions of Europe.
Hey, Tony,
I saw a bloke on a newspaper video telling me that a couple of days ago. So you're full of shit, mate. We're the champions of Europe. Because I saw a bloke reading it off a cue card in the newspaper the other day. So you know what I'm talking about.
I'm sorry, mate. I have searched the entire universe and I still can't find enough fucks to give about that.
Leicester, who's going to say?
Do it again while moving your lips, Chris. Go on.
Got the gear.
Go on,
H2. Go on, H. Do the trick.
Irish eyes just running. You froze there, Chris. Do you want to give us a reprise? Sorry.
No, I was saying it, but rest assured, guys, we're about to sign the world's greatest number 10 from Leicester, who's going to change our season. Another example, isn't it? There's a bloke who was relegated 2 weeks before a season kicks off. Nobody else has fancied him.
Oh,
we've already got El Canus or whatever his name is.
You mean the guy who's got more vowels in his name than he's ever scored goals?
But did score a goal against us at home last season for Leicester. But yeah, it's just farcical, isn't it? History repeats itself, and we're shopping. It seems.
I see transfer links like that, and my first reaction is to shout out, "Stop the boats!"
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell's bells! Honestly, at this rate, mate, we'll have an announcement soon that our physio team is being headed up by Harold Shipman.
Actually, you can say what you like about him, but he was a people person.
Oh dear!
Very tactile.
Yeah, serial killers of the world unite.
We know where the bodies are buried. Three amigos.
I thank you.
There was a bloke on an unrelated note, but it's almost amusing. I thought a bloke was drunk or somebody was playing like their phone without their earphones in. There was a lunatic on my train the other day, and he was singing, "Oh, Mr. Porter, what the thing I've done? I bought a ticket to Birmingham on my way to Crewe," and he was doing the whole thing. He was a one man Will Hay jukebox. when the doors opened, he was shouting out, "All ashore coming ashore!"
and you know what, mate?
Off his rocker.
And he might be off his rocker, mate, but he's living in a happy world, whereas we're absolutely being dragged through the fucking shit.
Yeah, and the thing is, he was sober. He didn't annoy anybody. I thought he was tremendous. I thought, would he be offended if I chucked him a couple of quid? But he was living in a happy place, and he wasn't wandering around in a 160 quid Sonny meaningless shirt.
K-pop, mate. K-pop's the dream, mate. K-pop's the dream.
What were they? Were they 250 quid for one of those?
Yeah, 250 quid. And they sold out as well. They fucking sold out.
So, how many did you buy, Tony? The kids all got one.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah. On my millionaire salary. Yeah.
But honestly though, you know, we're coming up to the hour mark. So before I scream out any more, but we are heading like a freight train into the, you know, we're going off the edge of the cliff. What improvements have been made since last season? We can only hope that and this is like trying to throw it out there, but we can only hope that Thomas Frank is able to rapidly increase the quality of some of the players that was shall we say, was suffocating under the fat man. And Lucas Bergvall turns out to be, an absolute wizard. But how is that going to happen? Is that realistic? Or is that hoping that your Petroauer turns into a dragon?
You can't polish a turd.
I was just literally going to say, mate. Literally going to say this.
That sounds like the voice of experience, Chris.
Yeah. I was literally going to say the same thing. There are only so many times that you can polish a turd and still not get any results out of it anymore, which is where we're going right now.
So you sound like the voice of experience, but with a time and motion background. This is very concerning. Yeah. A lot of you haven't been flushing straight away, have you? You've been looking at it, analysing it.
Mate, I went to school with Gillian McKeith, so I know those turds.
Speaking of serial killers that were never caught.
Yeah.
Hey, what's happening with your boyfriend, Manor? Is he staying at the club? Is he going?
All I can tell you, he has a very delicate touch, and we're taking it one day at a time when we're enjoying spending time together.
I wish you both much happiness in the future.
Yeah, and so if you want to make noises and get raspberry noises and pull faces when the club is quite rightfully putting out the LGBT flags, that's entirely down to you. I think you're a bigoted caveman and judge people by what they do when they're playing hide the salami, and I don't think it's very fair. But I don't like to talk about it.
Are you still sitting on a cushion?
Bloody hell, yeah! I'm on my third vat of Sudocrem.
That's why they call it.
What's that? That's the lorry doing the replacement.
Well, that's why they call it Preparation H after our own H.
Yeah. Oh,
damn right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Years of experience in the marketplace, I can tell you. Yeah, I mean, what is happening with Manor Solomon? I have a sneaking suspicion, unless we see him blaze a trail against PSG or something, which he told me is unlikely because he's having trouble with his, I told you about the other thing. But, he said probably going to end up going back to Leeds, which would be another financial triumph.
Well, and another player
past us till Leeds steam past us,
and another player not being at the club. How many more? What are we? This is the thing. Oh, God, strategy. Yeah, that's a good word, isn't it? Where? How many fucking players are we going to be left with at this stage? We're going to be left with a bare 11 of the worst collection of arse bucket vaginas walking. Honestly.
Oh, hang on a minute. I know what's going on with you, Tony. It's all right. I know what it is. You're thinking about that being a bad thing, aren't you? The rest of us are thinking about the wage bill. The rest of us are thinking about the wage bill.
I knew I was going wrong, mate. I knew I was going wrong somewhere.
Yeah, you're thinking about it being bad for football, whereas the reality, it's brilliant for the wage bill. So perhaps next time, before you start leaping around shouting silly things, just count to 10 and think to yourself, what would Daniel do if he had a bag over his head?
What would Daniel do? Yeah, okay.
He'd say, how much do I have to pay for the bag? If so, I want to take it off and give it back to you.
Can I amortize that bag over 7 years?
Do you think Sonny left with a nice IWC watch to remind him of the
I think he's probably got more around him than your average Liverpool gangster on a Saturday night wearing tags. I mean, it's absolutely, yeah. I mean, I think he was wearing an IWC when he was doing his crying to the audience thing. I had a chat with my friend, that charming Jewish gentleman in Australia, David. It's a great point for Chris to freeze again there, so he can't abuse me. Oh no, he's back in the room. There we go. Yeah. But he made the point. And I forgot what I was going to say now because I was being too clever. But no, he made the point about our friend Matt Hayes. And he said he was watching at 3 a.m. in the UK. He was watching a video of a man tenderly touching microphones and crying. And he said, he doesn't know he doesn't know that I exist.
Chris, at this stage, the fact that, we're on this podcast and he refers to his friend
Yeah, I know.
his Australian friend. You know, just like
Well, that
we're
was-
fucking
hang on, hang on,
disposable, aren't we? We're
hang on, hang on.
disposable, aren't we, Chris? You
I
know?
saw that,
Disposable.
Tony.
You're
We're
nothing.
just red boys, H. We're just
Yeah.
cheap meat.
You're the men that Man of Solomon is.
We're
That's all I
not
can
even
say.
friends. We're not even friends
Friends.
now.
We're just acquaintances.
Well,
Yeah,
you're-
exactly. Yeah.
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I do believe that it was you two half-wits that kept on chuckling away, going, so I see you've got a new friend then. So if I quote you verbatim, and now you're
Yeah.
like...
It makes a change that it's one that you haven't met on Tinder.
Yeah.
I'd
I'd like to introduce you to this new word, H. It's called sarcasm.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. So anyway, speaking of customer service, I'm going to put this out one more time with feeling. A lot of you are watching us regularly, which you're very welcome to do, and we value your company, but you haven't subscribed. Do subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and you don't even have to open the email, but it does help the algorithm. Thank you very much. Right. Anyway, you shower of shites. So, what are you up to today, Tony? Are you doing anything you can speak about in the outside of your sex pest dungeon?
No. When do you put it like that, anyway? No, we're going just spending some quality time with the missus. We're going away next week to Cheltenham for a few days to celebrate the missus' 60th birthday, and then hopefully the week after that we're off somewhere sunny. We haven't booked anywhere yet, but we're hoping to do a lastminute.com sort of thing.
If you go somewhere sunny, can I suggest a factor 90?
Mate, they have not yet. Scientists have not yet. They've got the Large Hadron Collider. They still haven't invented a sun cream that will be good enough for me.
Because at this rate, you'll get to the airport and they'll just shout, "Stop the boats!" That's what's going to happen, mate. Christ, there's a Red Indian arrived and he's lost his syrup. And what are you up to, Chris? Are you helping anybody in the community take their clothes off, anything like that?
I'll be put round to help you later, H. Other than that,
What to do that special weekend job that I like.
Yeah.
It's all coming out now, isn't it? It's all coming out now. Missus.
Missy. Well, I think we've just about done our job. I feel slightly like I've let a lot go there. But yeah, we're running out of time. So we know what needs to be done. I think a lot of you do. So let's hope that somebody does
get done. No, we need 4 players in. We need 4 players in before the window closes, and we need quality players, not cheap shit that we always go and get.
100%.
But it's still going to take time for them to bed in, regardless if we buy them. It still takes time. That's what a pre-season is for. But before anybody forgets that concept, pre-season is to buy the players, get them in, get them acquainted.
No, hang on. Sorry, you're thinking of this from the wrong side again.
I'm sorry. I'm doing the football again. I'm doing football again.
Yeah. You're
sorry,
focusing
mate,
on the negative voices in your head. What I would suggest to you, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but surely this is a time for encouraging new customers and selling them more product. And do you want to buy a £160 shirt to celebrate the fact
we're running out of markets to exploit, though, aren't we? We haven't brought in any exotic, foreign-sounding chaps from an unexploited market yet.
Well, I think we've certainly exploited and exhausted the Brazilian market. We can safely say at this stage.
What for lady boys?
No, I'd say it's the other way around, mate. We've been exploited by them.
Yeah. Right, and on that bombshell, good luck. Keep it on them.